Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of a Fujoshi Commentary, your go-to place for yaoi, anime, and manga facts, recommendations, and reviews, all done by yours truly. In today's episode, I'm going to give you a rundown on some of the saddest and most tragic yaoi manga I personally have read. Now for this list, I must issue a warning, sort of trigger warning you would say, for ahead of time. These suggestions do include some indications of rape, abuse, and death, and even some other arguably cringe-worthy moments. Some of these titles aren't for the faint of heart. Also, as usual, this list is spoiler-free, so the guts and gore will only be poured out into the readings once you've decided to take it upon yourself to click on the links in the description below, which I have to each of the manga I list. So without further ado, let's get groovin', humans! Number 5. Kampanu's no Kokyu, or Kampanuska's Breath, by Nakamura Asumiko. Here we highlight the life of a reclusive young man called Bird's Nest, and his journey of loathing, love, grief, regret, and accomplishments as he journeys from various circuses in the 1970s of France to regain himself and end the demons that are lingering in his feelings of guilt and are eating away at his psyche. From under-the-table prostitution to terminal angst as he passes through each stage of his life, the tragic yet bittersweet Rockwell of Bird's Nest is played out in 13 acts, or 13 chapters, that are compilated in about 2 volumes. This work of Nakamura Asumiko's will send you on a field trip of mixed emotions, from depression to straight-up anger over certain events in the manga. I do warn you, though, there is a trigger warning for this manga. It contains rape, BDSM, psychological brainwash, and components of Shotokan. If you find these elements a bit or extremely uncomfortable or offensive, you have been warned. I don't recommend clicking on the link below. Number 4. Lychee Hikari Light Club by Furuya Asumuro. In this post-apocalyptic modern-day version of Lord of the Flies, we see a life and coming-of-age story of a middle school boy named Tamiya and his 3 friends as they form a secret recreational club in an abandoned warehouse to come together as friends and simply pass the time and play simple schoolboy games. However, upon one of their classmates, Zera, discovering their group and his desire to join them, he quickly but most surely gains control and dethrones Tamiya. In this new position as club leader, Zera executes his sick and twisted decree onto his members as he completes the club with 9 members in total, completely demoting Tamiya to second in command. This eventually starts to take a turn in a significant toll onto Tamiya, and he plots to reclaim his once humble and quaint club that started out just for friends, that Zera has used now to create a cult of artificial intelligence in order to carry out his eccentric fetishes on beauty and females. However, with this feud between Tamiya and Zera, chaos ensues, and the Lychee Hikari Light Club begins to crumble. One of the most popular works from the notorious Furuya Asumuro, who is also known for his most unique work, Pale Pioli, and his other horror classic, Jisatsu Circle, or Suicide Club, comes with this talk of boys' love, romance, lies, jealousy, and betrayal, all in one manga, which was later adapted into a live-action play, a film, and an anime. A trigger warning for this manga includes murder, gore, rape, and sodomy. So please, be advised that this manga is not for the faint of heart, and if you do find these elements offensive, I do not recommend clicking on the link. You have been warned. Number 3. Boys Next Door by Hikari. This story highlights the life of Dr. Wolfgang Adrian Cray and his rather macabre hobby being a serial killer. However, one fateful day, a young prostitute named Lawrence, or Laure for short, witnessed one of his killings and pursues Cray. Cray, who is supposed to kill him as he designs in his serial killings, instead blossoms into a beautiful relationship with the young prostitute. However, the demons of Adrian's past and traumatic childhood, as well as his actions in the past and killings, come back to haunt him, and Lawrence's pimp isn't too happy about him losing his main supply of income because of all this lovey-dovey, sappy stuff which he sees. And with the couple's world down spiraling into chaos, it just makes everything go down to shit. Like the last two entries on our list, this manga has elements of murder, blood, gore, and underage prostitution. So, viewer discretion is advised. Only 3 chapters are in this story, and the manga surely has a lot to offer. There also are some indications of implied rape. Number 2, Zetsu I Am Bronzed by Ozaki Minami. This more emotionally driven manga revolves around the life of Izumi Takuto, an aspiring soccer player with a scarring past and his lack of trust for people no matter how kind they are to him. However, that all began to change upon meeting the famous pop star Koji Nanjo on a rainy day on his way home from work. Koji has developed feelings for Izumi as he drowns in his desperate love for him. This continues in Bronze as the relationship takes steps forward and some steps back. Though there are obstacles and angst and obsessive tendencies, the drama thickens. As their love is put to the ultimate test, the only warnings I put out for this is child abuse. But this read is longer than most, with Zetsuai becoming at 18 chapters and Bronze at 47. There's plenty of angst, love, hardships, and piping hot tea to go around for the average reader. Number 1, I Know Cassabi by Yoshihara. Unlike the rest of the manga on our list, I Know Cassabi is more of a futuristic tragic love novel. Yes, a novel, not a manga. It has more words than amazing art. While most people who have heard of this name can more commonly associate it with the anime, more specifically the 2012 reboot, other than the 1990 OVA, the novel takes you to a whole new world that the anime couldn't really capture in only but a few episodes. The futuristic intelligence of the planet Amoy and its futuristic slavery and sex trafficking ring is where we meet the elite blondie named Yason Mink and his encounter with the slum mongrel named Riki, and then decided to enslave him as a pet or sex slave, which doesn't sit well with the social norms of Tangura, the place where Yason lives and works. And what starts as a captured pet and owner deal turns into something that slowly but gradually forms a budding relationship of love and passion for one another, as well as the concerns over which their positions affect their relationship. And by being together, however, their blossoming love and dedication to each other also brings rising tensions and disapprovals of the relationship from all sides of Amoy, from the elite associates and Yason disapproving the social norms of it, to the friends of Riki in the slum simply in disbelief that a slum would actually try to get with a blondie, and social norms being unacceptable. This relationship and their love is tested in the most devastating way possible, with all the mounting pressures from both sides closing in on them. Elements in this story that could be seen as offensive include BDSM, sexual assault, sex trades, and arguably a bit of Stockholm Syndrome. With 6 chapters in all, which include 2 chapters that were re-released and added to the novel upon its reissue. This read will not only warm your heart a bit, but also will put some tears in your eyes for some of the devastation that entails. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video to be to your liking, show it by giving it a thumbs up. Also, if you want more of these good old top 5s and top 10s, as well as some speed draws, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I try to put out at least one video every week. Until next time, lovelies, peace, love, and stay groovin', humans. Bye!